Hey, what's going on, guys? We're back with another episode of Aim with Purpose. I'm here with my co host, Isaiah Smallwood. And on today's episode, we have a very special guest, Will Cottingham. He is a very good friend of ours and someone who is looking to be a leader in the Web3 space. And today we're going to hear his story and what he has to say about Web3 and what he plans to do moving forward.
Amen.
I appreciate you guys having me on.
What's good, brother?
It's good.
Chilling.
Just another good day.
Yep.
Chilling in happy land. Another day in happy land. But first off, we'll get into the first question. What pushed you into entrepreneurship and honestly this Web3 and blockchain background in the first place?
Really, man, it's just seeing the way monetary and social life has progressed.
Here, Will. Keep a little bit.
As a young adult. So, went to college, anticipated becoming a teacher, have a history and sociology degree. Realized that although that pursuit could be fulfilling, I had a lot more ability to impact the youth like I wanted to if I was an entrepreneur. So I hopped out of school. I did a little bit of personal training and some fitness sales till I, got my feet wet, knew where I wanted to go with that. I hopped into solar with a friend from the gym and did some sales on that product line and realized that the housing market was really the most stable and I guess blossoming industry at the time.
Mm-hmm.
What year was this?
I finished school in 2016, and by the end of 2017, I was in solar sales.
Got you.
And so I parlayed that into mortgage. I had a couple buddies who had tried the industry on the real estate side, and I thought, maybe there's a good push here. Went to Cityworth, got my licenses paid for, and learned the ropes for a little while. Quit and did my own thing with a couple buddies I met there. About a year into our solo journey, one of the team leads over there called me up and said that he had his chance for a known branch and, wanted to pursue running his own business. So took the bull by the horns and we all went in together on a mortgage branch out in Falls Church. And we were successful for 2 years out there. But during that time, man, crypto started becoming a thing in my eyes. I was late to the party.
Was this like 2019, 2020?
Yeah. So I started really realizing the technology push that was around me. I was a little bit of a Luddite growing up and didn't experience a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw the capability and the opportunity to reach as many people as possible, I jumped ship, man.
Mm-hmm.
I quit my mortgage job. I put all my money that I had in investments out into my account, and I started funding my own pursuit into blockchain entrepreneurship and crypto entrepreneurship.
Dope.
Wow.
Yep.
It takes a lot of guts, honestly, because that's a scary thing to do, to have full faith in yourself. But full faith in yourself leads to fulfillment. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
Well, it surely does, but I mean, I think we all three can emulate that thought. I grew up in a Christian household. I grew up loving God and realizing that that's a good path to push me forward. So I've always had that kind of, in people's eyes, that blind faith in myself to pull off whatever I believe in.
Yeah, to not be afraid.
So it was a comfortable journey for me.
Yeah, and I mean, do you think obviously it was the right one?
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah,
I do.
yeah.
So, I'll own my shit. A brass tacks is, did I take an economic setback pursuing this? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Am I super successful as far as money right now? No. But is the message that I want to put out there and is the social impact that I'm trying to create happening? Absolutely.
And that's more important, clearly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We
My
feel the
heart's in
same
the
way.
right spot.
Yeah. That's all that matters, really, because the money will come, or abundance will come your way, whether it's through money or other avenues, if you are authentic.
Exactly.
But yeah, that is definitely a pivot for sure, to go from real estate to, I guess, online real estate when it comes to blockchain, because it is cemented on the system, right?
I see what you're getting at. And the irony there is it's not really that big of a transition, man. The whole world's going digital. The whole world's moving to this sort of system of interaction. And to bolster that, all blockchain is just a better, smarter, faster way of organizing information and organizing interactions.
Okay.
So it's really not that far-fetched. It's just the way we've been taught to grasp it.
Mm-hmm.
So you got it.
No, you got it.
No, ask your question.
Okay. I was just gonna say that it's a different world that we live in now, because with blockchain, everything can be tracked and everything is unique to that instance, right? Instead of it just being a time and a date, it's now more than that within the transaction.
I see what you're saying. because everything's minted on the block and coded on the block. They know who, what, where, when, why, and how definitively.
Yeah. On a little side note, do you think there is a downside to that much, I guess...
Freedom?
No, I wouldn't say, well, freedom, but also is there a downside to the abundance of information? Like, will we get to a point where blockchain impedes on privacy to an extent where you no longer have it? In an online sense. Obviously, we all have privacy in the physical world, but in the online sense of it, does it create an issue where the people who are on this blockchain want more information than other people are willing to give?
It kind of, yes, before we start, freedom absolutely could go through the roof. Control could as well. Mm-hmm. So what you're dealing with blockchain is the same kind of revolutionary concept as internet-based interactions or like cellular-based interactions, right? Mm-hmm. So you're just changing the way within the paper trail is organized for you. So if the powers that be or the blockchains that you interact with are actually focused on privacy rights and freedom of information and freedom of opportunity, then they're not going to be maliciously tracking you, selling that data to third parties, the government, etc., and doing the kind of things that most of us are fearful of with that potential control system. But the reality is, could it make it easier? Yes, but it's already happening to us. Mm-hmm. So it's not like you're opening yourself up to an opportunity of submission that you're not already subject to.
Yeah. Innovation is inevitable.
Right.
There's a certain way you have to adapt to it.
It's truly just implementation.
Yep.
I mean, think about it, man. They did the Patriot Act back in 2003, so they're paying attention to our cell phones, they're paying attention to our texts, our emails, our voice calls, everything. And if they're not directly monitoring what you're doing, one of the ways, not conspiratorial, this is fact, one of the ways that the government can get access to you and bypass that Fourth Amendment is they just buy your information from third-party vendors, aka private corps.
Same thing that happened with social media. I feel like exactly. Zuckerberg with Facebook a couple of years ago. Same thing that.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah, he sold information to the FBI or the CIA.
Yeah, so along those lines. Jack Dorsey, Mark Zuckerberg, basically anybody who runs that kind of large industry, Bill Gates as well. Mm-hmm. They are definitely working in hand with governments to buy and sell your data because it's legal. It's what they do to other private corps anyways.
TikTok.
Target does it. Everybody does it.
Oh.
TikTok's deep.
Right.
It's like, oh, dude, that thing took over. That thing took over during COVID. Mm-hmm. The boom from TikTok and
the short form content. Man.
Yeah, like the way everyone just shifted towards short form content so quickly was like months.
Mm-hmm. Like, well, the big push on that, man, was just the ease of opportunity to see another face. I mean, over COVID, they tried to, especially for us youthful people, they tried to separate us.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. And that wanting to feel connected, that's what drove that short form face to face interaction.
And I feel like just the short form content idea around it, like to grasp information shortly.
Right.
Through multiple videos at a time. I feel like people really like that idea, but in my opinion, you don't actually attain that information like a sponge. Like you're literally just like trying to think.
It's there and gone. It's there and gone. It's there and gone.
There and gone. Like,
yeah.
But other words, if you were to put effort into it, then you would soak that information up like a sponge. But if you watch a 10-second video how to dye your hair, you're not going to remember it. You're going to need to watch that video 3 or 4 more times.
But the cool part about it is, from a positive standpoint, that allows people like us to throw that line out there and catch somebody who might be interested but doesn't have an hour at that time.
Agreed.
So that short form gives you that spark of brilliance, and then when they have the time to really revisit the subject, they can sit down and do your long forms through YouTube or whatever.
Yeah, it's definitely it's like it is outreach to an extent, and that part about it is a positive, like you said, that you're able to not only let people know, because I mean you could send like 1 million emails and like let people know,
right?
But you digest it all into a 10-second clip, they're way more likely, like you said, to read into it. And then, I mean, all it takes is just a spark of curiosity, and then they're to the page, and then they're to the full video, right. And then they're like, oh, well, we just got a view.
Well, and so to spin that into like the crypto and the Web3 space, that's all that basically technology is taking advantage of is interaction. And once you catch somebody enough times, they're willing to foot the bill and try. That's all we're doing here. So the way Web3 is building out is through means which us three, especially compared to our older peers, are familiar with. You use a QR code, you use a mobile wallet, you use some kind of like phone-based interaction to get you into this group of like-mindedness. Because that's all it is. Even if you're tracking something like, to make it simple for people who are new to crypto, something like Dogecoin or Shiba. The reason that it had that parity and that influence to it, yeah, Elon Musk and people like that influenced it, but they just made it an easy route in to an unfamiliar space. So they tugged on the only pulls of familiarity you had. A cute dog picture or a cute meme or just something that makes people feel good. And then you get exposed to the actual intelligence behind it.
A little side note on that. That's how I got into, well, I guess stock trading, but when I first started, it was through Robinhood.
Okay.
And it was because the UI was so simple. Like you said, it was
approach.
The
iPhone approach.
Yeah.
Apple approach.
Yeah. It was the UI, like the interface was so simple. It was so clear cut. It was clean, and like you said, it was just a gateway to the whole realm of stock trading and all that, which I've actually enjoyed reading into.
Robinhood pains me, bro. They scammed so many people, bro.
They did.
It's so tragic. A lot of people did like start a COVID, like when people started trading back in like March to May, there was a huge boom with trading stocks, and that's when people were like sold on Robinhood. It was just such an easy interaction, like you said. And then as time went on, they just fucked people over through GameStop. I don't know if you're familiar, but basically the GameStop thing happened. They wouldn't allow people to sell their stock.
I remember that.
And I
remember hearing
that's
about
when
it.
they went downhill very quickly. And there was a bunch of other things that happened in between, but that was just the pivotal moment of which was the downfall of Robinhood. And that the basic tool, it was cool and all, but people realized that you can't make shortcuts in a world of like trading.
Yeah.
It just fucked a lot of people over.
That's actually how I view the Robinhood situation. Is I don't think people got fucked over as much as our generation, which really likes that point and click ease of mind.
We fucked ourselves.
They didn't want to take the intrinsic thought and the real deep dive into how does this work? What is stock trading? People don't understand that. Like most people don't know what a direct registered share is. So how are you gonna know how you're getting fucked on your holdings on like GME? When you don't know that you don't even have access to those
Shares.
paper notes, or that they're overinflated, and there's a 300% note rate to the actual amount of shares available. So it's just ignorance to the space, just like anything else.
And yeah, I definitely am a byproduct of being fucked by Robinhood.
Right.
But not by Robinhood, I fucked myself. Like,
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I didn't have...
We've all done it. I did it too.
As you saw money signs and you got the lust of money and you wanted to make that money and you made the money, but then... you just fucked your own self over because you didn't really just like dive into it. I just watched a short form content video and was like, oh, you click this button, you place an option, okay, that's it. And then months go by and
we don't learn about the tax implications. We don't learn about trading clauses. We don't know any of that stuff off the bat. You just jump in.
Yeah, trading clauses is what did me wrong. That's what did me wrong off rip. I got banned quick.
Oh, the day trading?
Yeah, not only that, I just done some stupid shit. Like, I've gotten banned on like sports betting. Like, I just don't read I feel like our day and age, our generation, whether it's your generation, our generation, we don't read this fine print and then click OK. Nah, bitch, I'm sliding to the bottom. I'm clicking OK. And I'm ready to go. Same thing when I set up my PC. I didn't read none of that shit. I was like, click the button. Oh, colors.
Yeah.
Make an account.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's it's humbled a lot of us in this generation for sure.
Well, and that's where people like myself are trying to create that clear, like Grand Canyon size cut between crypto and Web3 and blockchain development. Because what I'm doing is Web3 and blockchain development. It might involve some crypto aspects at times, but I'm really trying to create a place where our generation can grow up in an atmosphere that allows for better, faster, smarter, safer interactions anywhere in the fucking world. With zero limitation. I don't care what you think, what you feel. You deserve that platform of expression without the censorship that we're experiencing right now.
So let's highlight that a little bit. What is the blockchain company that you're trying to create or produce?
Yeah, so the name of my association, I guess I should scratch that. The name of what I'm building is the Magnum Opus Society. And to start there, the intention behind it is from my faith and my little bit of a cult growing up, Magnum Opus means the great work. Mm-hmm. So to me, the great work of society, of humanity, is literally the human experience and the human condition. We are meant to express ourselves and provide each other the opportunity to blossom through that shared experience. Okay. And that's so limited right now through our traditional means that, like you said in the beginning, people see this as a potential to hinder you and put you in a bubble. If implemented correctly, it's the first time in a long time you actually have freedom of expression without limitation. Right. No one can take your shit down. No one can censor you. Sorry about that, everybody. Camera died on us. What we were diving into is freedom of expression and freedom of opportunity in the new world. And the way the Magnum Opus Society is going to help push that further is I want to platform everybody, all walks of life, whether you're a traditional product market like you coach baseball or you run an auto shop like my father, or whether everything you do is entirely digital, like you make NFTs for a living or you're a streamer or some kind of, just digital content producer. I want everybody, collaborative or competitive, to have the same equal footing of exposure and monetization in this digital tech-laden world. How are we going to go about that? It's a more decentralized approach. And I know everyone throws that word out there loosely, then they're a centralized product at the end. Mm-hmm. So the Magnum Opus Society, of course, has its founding members and like a governing council from the professional side of things. But what we're going to do is where crypto comes in, I will have a governance token on the site. And what that's going to serve as is voting power and voting rights in the organization. So say we do some charity involvement. Of course, we're going to have people from everywhere in the world interested in who we're supporting. Yep. So as a group, we will dive in and decide where we delineate those funds. Who deserves to have the charitable work? Who deserves to have the giveaway? Shit like that. We're going to do everything from a decentralized, by the people approach, like true democratic representation should be. And not every decision, of course, can fall within that framework. Mm-hmm. But the main point is, you as a company, we're always fighting an uphill battle if you're not a giant corporation. Like if you're in the retail clothing game, like Ethan and Godsent, he's fighting an uphill battle because it's harder for him to get materials. It's harder for him to get exposure. It's harder for him to hit price points. There's so many talking points that a corporation like Target can just knock you down on. What's that factor that makes you a viable option and a competitor? And of course, he laid out those things from his clothing and like the entertainment perspective. Mm-hmm. But on the fiscal side of things, where like someone like myself would step in, having another way to market your product and bring your product to people, and another means of that friendship interaction that makes you feel good, that's where all the separation is in the new world. Because again, there's no limit of exposure. There's no limit of information. You can fucking find anything you want. Yeah. So why are you any different from Adam? Mm-hmm. It's the love you bring. It's the charisma you bring. It's that personal touch that everybody is glossing over and missing. That's the only thing I give a fuck about with my company.
I got you.
I want everyone to feel, again, it's a slogan, so I'll say it again, collaborative or competitive, you belong here. Yeah. And that's the entire fucking point of what I'm doing.
So it's no matter what, everybody that's a part of it has eyes on them.
Exactly. Okay. Bro, I want the girl who does cello in the fucking foothills of Okinawa to have an opportunity to show people that shit. Mm-hmm. I want the dude who plays banjo, who people don't know about in the fucking backwoods of Kentucky, to have that simple view on life and be able to express that to people way outside of his demographic. I want the girl who does art down the street in Leesburg and is really good, but because she doesn't have the right political pull or daddy's money or whatever it is, she's looked over for the person who's buddy-buddy with the director or the principal. The whole point is trying to create absolute even ground.
Do different followings play a part in how each person gets their message out there or their product out there?
As far as like, if you're like more of like a tangible good versus like a digital good, or I guess
I guess my question is more of like, is there a difference in value if someone comes to Magnum Opus with a big following or no following? Because I see the idea that no matter what, all eyes will see what's happening.
Right.
But with that said, outside eyes, does it matter, big following, small following?
So yes and no, from the sense that the whole point is equal footing, but again, you can't create equal stature.
Okay.
I mean,
I got
homie's
you.
tall and I'm short.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that the output that we start from is not guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
But I want everybody to have that equal opportunity to express and show themselves.
I got you.
And not get algorithmed out of existence.
Okay.
So, like, I do golf photography and videography as a personal hobby. So one of the subsections of the Magnum Opus Society is Magnum Opus Studios. And within that realm, my friend Vinny and I are running Eagle Eye Productions because it's our golf niche and our golf orientation.
Eagle Eye. That's
right.
good. That's good.
However, I want other people who do like human photography or wedding photography or whoever it is, I want them to onboard themselves and make that their hosting platform so we can incubate space and value for each other. So if you're a golfer and you're like, hey, I'm getting married, but you know of my company, you hop in the portal and now you see all
now
this
you just-
opportunity for
okay.
people, whether they're local or abroad, that do the wedding shit that you need. And there's actual equal representation and equal ability to acquire their goods or services rather than that Google page share or that, you know, like Amazon algorithm that puts best versus worst.
Oh, I see what you mean now.
You actually have a tree-based ecosystem
Yeah.
where everyone's leaf gets sun.
So, like, no matter what, I like that example of I have something I need to get done, so I go to Magnum Opus and I find someone who can do what I need to get done.
Right.
And it's just a direct exchange.
Right.
I get it.
And
I get
and as everybody being in like the Magnum Opus Studio subsection, everyone who does that entertainment realm, by contributing to the greater network, again, whether you work together or you are direct competitors, you're both gaining a shitload of exposure by existing in the same realm. And that's something that is not done in free enterprise right now. Yeah, there's better business associations and local, you know, councils and economic chambers like the Loudoun Chamber of Commerce. But that's still a boys club and who you know, and everyone doesn't get equal footing.
I was going to say it seems a lot more competitive than cohesive.
But that's a good thing. Because positive competition leads to development.
You're right.
When it's not hate-based, when it's not, you know, cutthroat, when it's out of love, it's out of self-growth, everybody wins.
Because you're just helping one another evolve at the end of the day. That's what, like, the general idea is through Magnum Opus.
And I mean, is intrinsic or extrinsic as it gets, brother. I'm talking people who make devil worshipping art and people who make godly worshipping art. They deserve the same footing because both ideas cause controversy in their own right and cause critical thinking on the observer. And the whole point of this is to, again, push humanity forward and push the interactions forward so we fix what we're dealing with.
I got you.
Not expand it and make it worse. We want to bring everybody together.
Yeah. Because if you start to divide the information that you give and that you give people and the information that, you know, you receive and like you kind of change it to your narrative, then you're doing yourself a disservice and anybody that follows you a disservice by not being forthright in what you're talking about or what you're getting told.
Right. And I mean, dude, as simple as like a lot of us like streamers and like video games. So I got a buddy who's really, really high up in 2K streaming. Gets 1 million views plus a month on his YouTube. Everyone knows who he is. I'm not going to drop his name right now. But the way you interact with this dude primarily is you go on Twitch and you're giving Twitch your fucking money. Yeah, he gets a portion of it. He gets his exposure. But Twitch is the one who's winning. You parlay that, you come over here, you go through the Magnum Opus content, right? And you go through our version of Twitch. Of course, we have to have operating costs and shit, so a small portion goes to the operating entity, but the rest of it actually goes back to the community and goes back to the creator. And the way we do that is through, again, that personal interaction. So instead of you just dropping $30 a month on his Twitch and not getting shit back for it, you buy this NFT that gives you your subscription rights to the stream. That NFT, because you have to think about it, brother. Someone who has 1 million views a month, there's corporate influence there.
Yeah.
That same NFT can give you passive returns on whatever sponsors love to sponsor his videos. That NFT can give you passive interaction with the creator himself. Maybe there's a meet and greet that NFT holders get to go to. Or maybe there's a playbook you can learn from. or all these other like small microtransactions and micro interactions that really grease the wheels and keep everybody engaged, when it's a more seamless interaction and a more feel-good interaction, that's where we're going to go.
Right, because as of right now, you're someone on Twitch as a viewer, right? I'm watching someone on Twitch.
Right.
And I donate, let's say, $5. I don't, not that, like, I'm sure, like, at a core, you're donating because you genuinely like the person and you want to see them succeed, and, like, you understand that the overall cost is going towards their production. You know what I mean? Like, to keep them going. But outside of that, the only thing that the viewer can get from their donation is a thank you on stream. So I do like that aspect where you are now given a
NFT.
Yeah, or an NFT in a way to see like what your donation is going towards, on top of the fact that it's supporting that person.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
And before people get cloudy on the NFT game, because I know it's all the crypto, the Bored Apes, the bullshit. What an NFT is, it's non-fungible token, and all you're getting out of that is a digital handshake. So it's just an agreement that this represents X. It doesn't have to be money. It doesn't have to be a picture. It doesn't have to be anything. It's literally just a representative agreement minted on the block that shows you definitively agree to these terms and conditions.
So it's like you could digitally, like, let's say I went to the Eagles game this past Sunday. I could buy an NFT ticket that shows I sit in row 100, seat 2, and it's literally just like, that's where they're kind of going with NFTs. That could be a way you use it. Correct?
So run with that as the example, right? So check this out. It's even better than that. Not only is it your digital ticket, which can't be fraudulated because it exists on the block. No one can duplicate it. No one can take it from you. Here's what makes it even better. You make that a collectible. You make the actual ticket itself a collectible. The problem with modern tickets is we lose them, we misplace them, right? Like I went to like Orioles games in like 1997. I don't have that fucking ticket stub anymore. But what if I had a digital picture of it that could never be lost or stolen, and I always have that intrinsic value? I always have that feel-good moment saved of going to the game. And to further it, by being able to retain that ticket, what if the Eagles hook me up later?
Yeah.
Hey, everyone, check your ticket stub from this game. You're entered to win blank. Now, again, the organization who's putting out and making all the money, they also have that feel-good reaction because they trust that their fan base is a more genial fan base as well. So now you're building a cycle of trust and a cycle of value where the people who are taking the risk to give you this content know they're getting a return from the right people. So you're creating trust. And you're building a more cohesive interaction with anything you engage.
And when you say the right people, you mean the fans and not the fake fans. Like for the football example, like at this point, someone could just screenshot my ticket,
right?
And they could say, "Oh, I went to the game." But with the NFT, no, I actually like went to the game,
right?
And like I still own this. You just own an image of it. That's where like it differs.
Well, and that's the whole point, right? It's about incubation of human value. So the people who love whatever product or service you're offering, you know that that's the person who's winning the reward. Sure, there's ticket scalpers and there's NFT scalpers, so someone can come in and buy a bunch and they could win. But because of the ability to track and identify who you're dealing with, it makes them less interested in playing that game because they don't have any real They don't have any real personal foot in the game.
Right. Yeah, be able to track the transactions is a big part because you could see how it got there, and you could see, oh, this dude just bought like, we have 5 tickets all of the same transaction from the same guy at the same time.
Right. It just helps with delusion of value.
It's so weird. I always thought more information, like in more, I guess, more specific information about people's lives and what they do, I always saw it as a bad thing. But I guess if it's used ill-intently, then it is a bad thing. But there is a way where it doesn't have to be that way.
Well, and it depends on what you're giving out, bro. Like, everyone has access to your name, your phone number, your basic contact info. So when you're putting that kind of stuff you would put in anyways, again, you're not giving up your social. You're not giving up the keys to your life. You're giving up typical consumer personal information.
which again is already algorithmically used against you. It's already sold behind your back. The same thing that people think they're fearful of happening, they're
It's
already a
happening.
product of.
They just haven't seen it yet.
I'm not redefining the wheel. I'm not making a new version of a wheel. I'm literally just making it run smoother.
Sharpening it.
Right.
It's like the analogy of like if you hang out around people with a sharp blade and you hang out with other people, they can dull your blade.
Right.
He's just sharpening the vehicle that we already use nowadays.
Right.
I like that for sure.
And dude, to bring it back to, I guess, the real world, since we're not in this AR, VR digital scape yet, the way, like, someone would gain value from me instantly instead of waiting for a couple years for, like, the industry to catch up. Brother, say you have, like, a favorite gas station. And, yeah, they have their own apps.
Fill & Co.
Right.
Shout out.
But what if, like, Phil & Co. worked with me and they made their own custom collections? And if you went and purchased this custom collection, you were subject to a different giveaway, a different opportunity, a different reward system, a different interaction than typical corporate-led engagement. Upscale it. Say it's Sunoco. What if you had a different NFT of a Sunoco, all owned by one franchisee, and once a month he does like a free gallon giveaway, or like a free fill-up giveaway, or like free hot dogs
for everyone who owns the NFT that's associated with that location.
Right.
Now we're talking.
Or if you're a fucking baseball instructor and you're trying to get your name out there and not get caught up in the fray of Google algorithms, you offer smart contracts because your students want them. It's not about the parent, it's about who's getting the coaching. So you're creating another level of trust and rapport with your mentees because you're giving them an inside look into your life. You're giving them another way to interact with you that's out of love, not out of money.
Ah, I got you. Because it's no longer give me the money and I do what I want with it.
Right.
It's like you give me the money and you see what I do with it.
Right.
I like that. It's like a very transparent way to look at it. Which
Well, that's
is
how
like,
it should be.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it seems like it should always be that way. But people lie and do all kinds of bad things.
Of course they do, man.
Wow. Magnum Opus. I do really want to be on the lookout for that. I am very hopeful that it blows up. I do think it will.
Oh, it will.
Faith.
Yeah.
You got the faith.
Yeah.
There's no hope.
Well, it's already happening.
Yeah.
We just don't disclose things before they're big.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Let me rephrase that then. I can't wait till the day comes where everything that we talk about on this couch and everything that you just talked to the people about comes into fruition, so that way they can actually experience the vision that you have.
Right.
But as more of a personal note, I do want to, because you are a little bit older.
Right.
You are 29.
29.
I do want to ask on more of a life avenue.
Right.
What is something, and it could be not even one thing, maybe 1, 2, 3 things, I guess, values or things that you've thought of over time, something that you know now that you wish you knew when, let's say, you were me and Say's age or just coming right out of high school?
Man. So, self-belief.
Self-belief.
My
Faith.
God.
You got the faith. Too.
And it goes along, exactly. It goes along with why I build this, man. Again, individuality, freedom of opportunity, freedom of expression, equal playing field. We were all fucking given that. I didn't feel like I had that. And not because I didn't actually have it, but because the way we're growing up in this fucking school system, you feel like you got to follow the crowd and follow the leader and do the right thing to mesh in and blend in and not make a wave. That's the opposite. You're supposed to make waves. You're supposed to interact with people, whether it's an agreement or a disagreement. So I would say the biggest life lessons I've learned didn't hit me till COVID, when I started this company, when I hopped out of the traditional corporate world and went into pure expression and development. And what I learned was people are going to hate you no matter what you do.
Yep.
And even if you do the right thing, they might hate you.
Yeah, everybody's...
So love yourself, love what you bring to the table, and express it out of good, and everything will work out.
I like that.
You gotta love yourself, man.
Yeah, the brain becomes what you think about. So if you just constantly compare yourself to the leader, or you don't have faith in yourself, you're gonna... What you think inward will project outwards, and you won't be able to have faith in starting the business that you want to start. Or... you'll just think negative upon yourself. Like, same thing with this podcast. Like, at first, I wasn't comfortable with talking on a mic and speaking to a camera.
Right.
But I mean, as time went on, the faith grew, and I just felt like I had more confidence within myself. And then as time went on, I'm now here with two other people talking very comfortably, and just it's very natural now. But a year from now, a year
ago,
a year ago, if you told me that, I would have been like, "You're tripping!" Like, nah, I'm not talking to nobody, like type of thing. So I definitely do agree with having faith about like just with your abilities and just having confidence with yourself. I think it all starts there, and a lot of people do need to definitely tap in within.
I think I would rather, to put it like kind of in one sentence, I'd rather have faith in myself, and it kind of goes to how I view this. I'd rather have faith in myself and something that I organically think and feel and want to portray to the world than to have blind faith in
someone
else's way of doing things that worked for them.
Right.
Because everybody seems to forget, like, every person is different. That comes from opinions to how they live their life.
Right.
So someone could lay out a step-by-step plan of my career and a career I could take. Like, you'll get this, you'll get paid this much, then you stay here for this amount of time, then you go to this and you get paid this much. And it sounds cool from outside looking in, but I mean, it sounds cool outside looking in, but then again, I have to realize, what am I thinking inside that about how I want to go about things outwardly?
So,
it could be different than what people lay out in front of me.
1,000,000,000%. And the way I digest that and express that myself is, I only get one fucking ride, dude. Yeah. We literally do this one time. We're not NPCs. There's no reset. There's no reload. You can't hop off a building in GTA, money back, right? Mm-hmm. I love God, and God loves me. Mm-hmm. And I am supposed to be who I am, not what anybody fucking thinks and feel about me, as long as it's done out of the right intention. Mm-hmm. And the biggest lesson I've learned in life, I'm 29 years old, and from an outward perspective, to a lot of people, I haven't gone anywhere. Mm-hmm. I've gone so many places and been successful and a failure in so many avenues of life. Mm-hmm. It doesn't faze me anymore. And the beauty I've learned within it is that's God teaching us to be who we are. I feel like I've never been a better version of myself than I am right now. Agreed. I've never gone through as much. I've never learned as much. I've never felt as comfortable in my own skin as I do now. And it's because of the life I've led. I've led it all out of my own intuition.
I got you.
I don't play by the rules. I don't play by the book. I follow what my heart thinks is the right thing to do. Because at the end of the day, bro, it's your journey.
Yeah.
And whether we die tomorrow or when we're old, you got to live with it. Mm-hmm. And that's what matters.
Yeah, 100%. You definitely have to be, you got to live with no regrets. And to live with no regrets, you have to look at every day as a new opportunity. I mean, I tell this dude all the time. Another day is another opportunity to do something great. So, yeah, you definitely have to go about it in a way that, you feel... I mean, you don't got to get up every day like, I can't wait to wake up. But you got to look at it like it's an opportunity.
That definitely helps, yeah. I mean, I wake up every day and I think that I am breathing and I can step out of my bed and I'm literally blessed to be alive. Like, I am literally blessed to be alive. And I feel like that starts, your mindset starts, like everything, like your attitude, everything. So, I mean, dude, I feel like thinking like that is definitely easier than
trying to follow other people.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to just relate what you just said. Like, I definitely think it's better to think positive and be blessed and be thankful for what you have than not.
Well, that's why what I'm building is so important to me, man. Because at the end of the day, if I'm a failure on the macro scale and people like Google or whoever never know who I am, as long as I have touched the lives I want to touch and as long as I have left this place better, I've done the right thing.
Agreed, and that's the same thing we're doing here. Yeah, same thing we're doing here.
Right.
Yeah, you're just trying to pay it forward. Like, whatever you're just trying to pay it forward to just one individual, because at the end of the day, you left this place a better place. Whether that's one person, 10 people, but like at the end of the day, those 10 people or that one person could pay it forward to someone else, and you, without even knowing, left a huge impact on multiple people's days, because it's just compounding going forward. And that's even the small interaction of you smiling at someone and saying, like, have a good day.
Yeah.
Or you starting a fucking crypto business and trying to have everyone grow on an equal playing field. At the end of the day, you left your impact and you can live kind of peacefully knowing that you left that impact before you left this earth. And I feel like that's what I'm also doing this for, and
Right.
same thing, you're doing it. So that's why it's beautiful to relate to that emotion. And gotta get my fucking foot off the
Well,
fucking
no,
table.
you're good.
Yeah.
To the people that this does reach, man, whether it's through Matt, Isaiah, or directly to myself, because we'll plug everybody, please ask questions in person, online, whatever it is, because this makes my heart happy. This is all I want to fucking do is help people. And this is a platform I know can change people's lives.
That's why we're here.
That's
Gotta
why we're
tell
all
people
here,
to
baby.
aim with intention, aim with purpose.
But I feel like a lot of people that do, without even knowing, like for example, I have a homeboy, Mike, that does a crypto Twitter page, and like, without even noticing, he makes people laugh through those memes.
Right.
At the end of the day, he's paying it forward. Like, he's literally giving someone a positive reaction or positive emotion to go forward with their day, and without knowing, he's been blessed with the followers, etc. But at the end of the day, he's just paying it forward. He's just trying to impact one person so they pay it forward to a next person and maybe make them laugh through memes. Or, like, at the end of the day, it's just, I feel like when you do move forward, you're helping everyone else also move forward.
Bro, 1,000,000,000%. I'm not the best at articulating things. I'm not the smartest. I'm not the fastest. I'm not the strongest. I am not top dog in anything that I do. But I will fucking believe in myself more than you, and that will lead me to outwork you.
Amen.
Yeah, I like that, because I also just thought about it in terms of how other people perceive me.
Right.
And I've grown to the point very, very quickly, like, I have really no care in the world about how you view me, because I know that I'm trying my best.
Right.
I walk a narrow path that is unique, that not everyone can do, and they actually go out of their way to choose not to do it. So, yeah, it's like, once you see that you're not trying to compete with other people and you just work on yourself every single day,
Right.
it takes all this pressure off. Like, you don't have to please anybody but yourself.
Well, because you're just following societal chains, man.
Yeah.
Who are you living up to?
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody above you.
Yeah. There's no one.
There's just God.
Yeah. I'm in my own lane.
And that's what they don't want you to understand.
But
Yeah.
that's the beauty of this shit, man, is we, through our various means, because we all have an avenue of influence, we're going to make our generation the fucking good one. We're going to redirect people, not saying you have to be a Christian.
No, you don't.
Because I'm not forcing anything down people's throat, but we have the opportunity, and we will create the platform to bring people back to good.
Agreed.
That's all we're about.
They stray away.
Hard times make strong men.
And we're the strong men coming out of these hard fucking times, dude. Because just because we're not in World War I and World War II like our ancestors dealt with, the digital warfare we deal with, the psychological, the social pressure,
warfare.
my God, it's
It's
hard.
ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. It is hard.
There's
It
literally
is-
a
it is-
spiritual war
Yeah.
happening right now, and people don't realize it.
Yes, sir.
And just because, I didn't go to war and fight on the fucking front lines of Normandy and shit doesn't mean that we're not going through hard times. And I do agree with that. I feel like hard times make strong men, and easy times make weak men. And I feel like we are in those easy times, per se, but it's going to a time where everything was going to be hard and strong
Correct.
men will be made. And that's what's going to be separating people from one another very soon.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'd rather attack the fact that it's hard early on before I get too comfortable. It gets too
Exactly.
easy, and then the life support that I've attached myself to, metaphorically, it drops, and now I'm sitting there like, well, I don't even know how to do the basic necessities of like a human being to survive in a outside a first world country.
Right.
And just the thought of like not being able to survive outside of a first world country kind of scares me. Like, I kind of want to learn how to farm and build a house. And
Well, and the beauty of that is, again, you can use technology in the developing world around you to bring it back to good. There's people who do this kind of farming. They go to New Zealand, they go to Australia, they go to these remote places, if you will, and they try to live off grid. What if they fucking put it up on the Magnum Opus Society and it was all about agricultural development and irrigation development and self-sustaining? Then they're giving it back to the good, utilizing the means that they don't like. Because it's not always about changing the landscape. It's about making the landscape you have available pretty.
Do what you can with what you've given or what you've been given.
There's beauty in everything, man. Whether you're a concrete jungle or you're in the mountainscape all the time.
Huh.
Because there's God everywhere.
Everywhere.
And within.
That's right.
His reality.
Yes, sir.
It's cool.
I mean, we've answered all questions up to this point. I really think that we've had a very enlightened and educated conversation. Everybody that was listening, they got to hear
Clip it.
They got
Clip the last 15 minutes.
They got a great insight on Web3 and blockchain, because I myself, it was a pretty hard, and I've always been, I feel like, pretty tech savvy, but it was a hard learning curve to understand it, and there are a lot of variables to it. But yeah, we hope everybody that was listening gets a
better understanding.
You know, it's a nice preview. If you do want to dive into, you know, a more informative side to it, by all means do your own research, because from what I hear, it's not going away. It will only be pushed forward.
Well, it's only, I
Yeah.
mean, that's so obvious. They tried to cancel, or not, you could say cancel, but whatever. But, like, they tried to end Bitcoin back in, like, my freshman year of high school.
Right.
Well, they tried to end Bitcoin, like, freshman year of high school, but it never worked, because it's, like, there forever.
It's the future.
You can't stop it, The momentum that it has, all of that.
Well, and that's what this was, man. Like Matt just said, like you're saying as well. This is an introduction, but I'm going to, you know, I want to work with you guys again and sit down and hash it out. But I'm also going to go ahead and I will, through you all, I'll make my own videos and I'll break down in depth what crypto truly is. I'll break down what blockchain truly is, what Web3 truly is, and I'll give full follow-up intellectual feedback on what really is going on in the space. I really just wanted to use this opportunity to, like, tell people who I am, let them see with my raw emotion, like, who I am as a human being and what I really bring to the table as a man, and create that trust and that value. And once we understand each other, then we can really hash out the hard shit, which is the technology. Because that's where we all get fearful.
Yeah.
But all that matters is that faith and that trust.
Facts. Anything is possible through faith.
Yes, sir.
Agreed.
All right, yo. Well, that has been another episode of Aim with Purpose. We will be on the lookout. From what I hear, Will's going to be coming out with informative videos, and I love that. I will definitely be able to
When you
in.
said that, just gave me. You'd be on some Elon Musk robot shit sometimes. I almost cut you off earlier the first 10 minutes, but you sound smack like Elon. You were like...
Anchorman.
Yeah, you said like some robot shit. But no, I definitely did enjoy that episode. I feel this is not going to be the last time you'll be on here, but definitely got better insight on Web3 and blockchain and what the actual value of it is and what the idea of it is going forward. I feel like I definitely have a better understanding more and more. And it's known you for like damn near
It's been 2 years now.
No, a year.
Okay.
So damn near like a year right now. I met you in like January, February. I met you in like February. Like I've seen you around the gym, but like beginning of February, the first time I talked to you, and I still haven't grasped crypto. But through conversations like this, I've definitely gained a better understanding through time. So I feel like,
well, dude, it's been really fun getting to know you guys.
Let's go.
Because we're all children of God, and we're really growing together as friends now, and that's been the most beautiful part.
Agreed. And you're getting more comfortable and learning more, and just developing one another, just like the blockchain talks about.
I think what like your platform's going to be really good at doing is bringing people, not only in your friendship group like Ethan and myself, but just experts of their own thing together and showing people that it's not fucking scary.
Yeah, I agree.
Because we're the adults now, bro. Everyone's got to realize that and grow up. We're the adults now. Stop looking at the 50-year-olds for the answer.
Yo,
you have the answers. You have the ability.
Yeah, I agree.
Lead by example.
I'll ask that Black Mirror before I ask the 50-year-old. Still respect to my OGs though.
Yeah.
My old heads. I still respect them. Still love them, but
valuable experiences.
Yeah, we live in a different time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the information age is going to flip the industrial age very soon. That's what people are coming to realize. Yeah, but nah. Before this cuts off, I do want to thank y'all for watching. Content will be out soon. Going forward, we'll have a posting schedule. And, just respect you guys for listening and hope you guys tune in for more. So without further ado,
appreciate y'all.
Yep, peace out, guys.
Purpose.
Amen.